Hello, mis cielitos, and welcome back. Coco is here with Binks, and we are continuing Steins Gate.
Yep. By 2036, the war's over, but it left the Earth in ruins. We won't survive for long. Not as things are.
It's unbelievable. In the future of the Alpha World Line, CERN used their time machine to fashion a dystopia where no one could oppose their rule. Suzuha traveled to the past to change that. She showed me how to escape that convergence. The result is this, the Beta World Line. Here, CERN fails to complete its time machine. But instead, 5.7 billion people die in the fires of nuclear war. Oops, just adjusting volume a little.
Okay.
There we go. This can't be happening. My legs fold beneath me. I sink to my knees.
Are you okay?
Mayuri kneels beside me and gently rubs my back. But I'm too stunned to respond to her kindness. I glare at Suzuha, though I know it's absurd. Part of me blames her. Why is this happening? You lied to me. You said a peaceful future was waiting for us on the Beta World Line. We saved Mayuri. We changed the future. And now, after everything we did, Suzuha appears before me once again to say that it wasn't enough.
We're at a point of great divergence. When.
I know that already.
Then you understand. 5.7 billion people are going to die, and the survivors will be left with no future, no hope. I came here to prevent that, and to do that, I need your help, Uncle Okari.
I refuse. I reject her plea outright. Suzuha looks hurt, betrayed, like an abandoned puppy.
I mean,
How
I don't blame
dare-
him. He just went through a lot.
Yeah. And just being suddenly thrust with, okay, now the entire world population is on your shoulders. Deal with it.
Mm, right? Like, let him grieve Kurisu in peace.
How dare she look at me that way? I borrowed Mayuri's shoulder and struggled back to my feet. I came here from the Alpha World Line. I had to sacrifice the girl I loved to make it this far. I can't go back. Not to the world line where Mayuri dies. I don't care if 5.7 billion die. I won't let her. I won't let Kurisu's sacrifice be in vain. One person versus 5.7 billion. They can't be compared. Suzuha is staring at me in disbelief. Mayuri and Daru clearly don't know what to say. I haven't told them what happened, so they can't understand.
Wait, you mean you've been to another attractor field? Wow. So that's the power of reading Steiner.
How do you know about that?
Dad told me. And I've met you before, Uncle Okarin. In the future, that is.
You've met me?
I see. So the me of that attractor field went to the past too.
A faint smile flickers across her face, and she looks at me with renewed intensity.
Uncle Okarin, I know you don't want to, but
No, I won't let Kurisu's death be in vain. I won't let Mayuri die.
she dies? What the fuck? Like, seriously, that's in her ear all day.
By Kurisu, I assume you mean Makisa Kurisu. Listen, Uncle. Let's say, hypothetically, that the only way to change the future of this world line is to go to July 28th, day Makisa Kurisu dies, and save her. What would you do?
Huh. Tempting him.
What? Shock ripples through my body. What did she say? Save Kurisu? But how? We no longer have the phone wave or the time leap machine. And even if we did, I could never leap that far back. Of course. I look over Suzuha's shoulder at the object disguised as a satellite. Your time machine. We can use your time machine. It came all the way from 2036. It should have no trouble going back a mere 3 weeks. Even better, this time machine can do what Alpha Suzuha's could not. It can travel to the future. I can go to July 28th, save Kurisu, and return to the present. No D-mails, no time leaps. Genuine, physical time travel. I can't refuse. I literally can't refuse. I saw this time machine once before, on July 28th, that fateful day. Shortly before Kurisu was killed, I saw it standing in this very spot, as sure as it is standing before me now.
That worries me. Because, with these time travel hijinks, it's like if he was already there and saw it there, then what happened? He already failed to save her? Did he accidentally kill her instead? Like my brain goes through all that nonsense.
It's actually, this just reminds me because Kudu has been watching these, and sometimes she'll leave a comment and sometimes she'll DM me. And she
Mm.
said that she had completely forgotten about my reaction when she was showing me the anime, and they revealed that you would need to. The first email was the one that saved Kurisu. He's like, I completely forgotten about that, but when you mentioned it, I just had the most vivid flashback.
It was still weird to me, right? Like that first email being a D-mail at all was just strange to me.
Hmm.
Because I was like, him telling, I forgot his name. He's right there, his friend.
Taru?
Yeah, him telling Daru, "Oh my god, I just saw her dead body." Like mentally, I'm still like, how does that change the past?
Mm-hmm.
It's just strange to me. I still don't fully understand that. And I know you tried looking it up, and I tried looking it up, and we still didn't see like a great explanation for that.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll need to go back, see if there's something we've forgotten. We've been
I
playing this
think
game over the
I
course of
don't
a
know.
very long time, so there's a
Yeah,
lot of
maybe the
stuff, but
anime would explain it better. Maybe.
mm. There's only one thing that can mean. It has already been established that this time machine will appear on that day, in this place. Even before I sent the first email, my participation was assured. Even the thought of turning Suzuha down now is meaningless. Nothing is coincidence. Everything is inevitable. The revelation makes me dizzy. It's like I don't have the tiniest atom of free will. Like my every action from the moment of my birth was planned for me by some cosmic force.
The world line I'm aiming for isn't. What did you call it? The Alpha world line? It's not that. What we're aiming for is the space between attractor fields.
The space between.
There lies a world line unaffected by any attractor field. a world line known as Steins Gate.
What?
What? But that's the Chuny name I pulled out of my ass. It doesn't even mean anything.
Oh my god.
I was told that Steins Gate is a brand new world line, one no one has ever observed.
What?
But didn't someone have to observe it to know it's there? Nope, it's never been observed, and that's what makes it new. But Dad and Uncle Okarin were able to calculate its divergence. Negative 0.081609 relative to the current world line. That's where we'll find Steins Gate.
And to reach that world line, we have to save Kurisu.
Exactly. She's the key to averting World War III. As long as she lives, the war won't happen. Or, at the very least, 5.7 billion people won't die.
Why?
Huh?
Why Kurisu? I mean, I know she's a genius, but are you telling me she's a hero who will save 5.7 billion people?
I don't know.
You don't know. And do you expect me to go along with this?
I'm glad he actually is questioning it rather than just following his heart and just going with it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just following Dad's plan. And apparently, you're the one who came up with it in the first place. If there's a flaw in your plan, then we're all in trouble.
It sounds like you didn't hear it from me. Is that right?
You passed away 10 years ago. 15 years from now, that is. The year 2025.
You better look out, Okarin. You only have 1 year left.
Oh boy.
The same result as on the Alpha World line.
So I don't know the whole story. What I do know is that my dad continued to work. After you died, he built this time machine all by himself just to see your plan through.
That's my super hacker. Mwah.
Oh, so loyal.
He must have hacked into CERN and stolen their research, then used it to construct his own time machine. On the Alpha World line, CERN killed Daru before he could complete the machine. But here, Daru was able to perfect his design. That's why it can go back to the future. At least, that seems the most likely explanation.
Uncle Okarin. Like I said, Steins Gate is unobserved. Nobody knows what future awaits us there. There's a chance that a dystopia rises from the ashes of World War III. There's a chance that Makise Kurisu dies just 2 days after you save her. There's a chance that you don't die in 2025, next week. But there's also a chance that when 2036 comes, there will be no dystopia, no world ravaged by war. There's a chance that everyone, including Makise Kurisu, will still be alive. There's a chance that a wonderful future awaits. At least, it won't be the future I came from, and it won't be the future the other me came from. That much is certain.
Is an unknown future really for the best?
I mean, it's what the rest of us got, right?
I would hate for the ending role to say, despite your best efforts, you made everything worse.
It's completely unknown, completely unpredictable.
Kurisu can't be saved. I know that. Even if we change the past, convergence will ensure her death, just as it did for Mayuri. It's impossible. There's no way this plan can succeed. In the end, fate will win, as it always has.
But if you're willing to try, if you're willing to come with me to July 28th, then take my hand.
I look down at Suzuha's hand. Her skin is rough, her palm calloused. This cool, collected, unsmiling Suzuha comes from a ruined world, from the ashes of a war that claimed over 5 billion lives. I can only imagine what she's been through. Kurisu. How I have dreamed of saving her. I would do anything, anything to change her fate. But how do I know this invitation won't lead me into another maze of despair?
Mayushi doesn't understand any of this. Oh, the theme song's playing. But this Makise person was very important to you, wasn't she? I think you should go for it.
5.7 billion, man. I can't even imagine. But don't sweat the small stuff. Just save the girl and you're set for life. It's the dream of every otaku.
Mayuri and Daru offer me encouragement, but it's not enough to overcome my doubt. The Makise Kurisu we knew, lab member 004, is already gone. Even if I save her on this world line, she won't remember any of the time she shared with us. So there's no point.
Don't say
I won't bend time to my convenience. Not again. I'm not God. I don't have that right. If I try, I'll just end up making things worse. Reason pleads with me to stop. And yet, I look at Suzuha's outstretched hand, and then with resignation, I grasp it firmly. I'm in. Try though I may to fight it, this choice was made for me on July 28th, the moment I laid eyes upon this time machine. Fate wants me to take your hand. Who am I to argue? I'm not all that confident I can save Kurisu. How many times have I tried to resist fate, only to fail? I don't want to see her die. But if there's a chance, however small, that she can be saved, I have to try. Even if I can't take back what we had, I want more than anything to save her. Let's go.
Thank you, Uncle Okarin. Hop on board.
Can this thing even fit to people?
Of course it can. It's my dad's masterpiece.
Daru, your daughter really loves you.
I
Oh.
don't get it, but stop calling me dad. I'd rather be your big brother if you know what I mean.
Stop. Be sure to come back, okay? I don't want you to disappear, okay?
I'm not going to another world. It's just a short hop to the past. I pat Mayuri's arm reassuringly. Then I follow Suzuha to the time machine's hatch and slip inside.
Oh, this is so hype.
The interior is cylindrical and surprisingly tight. When I sit down on the ledge that rims the cylinder, it puts me face to face with Suzuha, kind of like one of those giant teacup rides. There are fewer controls than I expected. The inside definitely looks more refined than what I saw of Suzuha's time machine on the Alpha World line. But one thing remains the same. The time display panel. A black screen with red lettering. I guess that's just Daru's taste.
Give me your phone.
When I hand it over, Suzuha casually tosses it up the hatch. Hey!
It's better not to bring it. It'll cause interference.
Interference? I really like the reflection of the display screen in her eyes.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, I see. We're going to July 28th, so there'll be 2 of me, and if I bring it, 2 of my phone. I guess that would be a problem if I got a call or something. So time travelers really do need to be careful about what they bring to the past.
Shut the hatch.
I hear Mayuri and Daru cheering outside. Mayuri caught my phone, thankfully. I give them a final nod, then close the hatch. Silence engulfs us. Suzuha is operating the time display panel. She sets our destination, July 28th, 2010, 11:50 a.m.
That should do it.
That's cutting it awfully close. I remember that Dr. Nakabachi's presentation began at 12.
This time machine can't physically move.
Meaning...
No matter what time we travel to, we'll always arrive at the exact same coordinates. In other words, on the roof of Radikan. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that, but there's no time to explain. Anyway, we could leave to the day before the presentation, but if we attract too much attention, they would close Radikan and cancel the presentation. And that's why we've got to cut it close.
I see.
Uncle, this is your first time traveling, right?
Okay, first, stop calling me uncle. And yes, I've made more time leaps than I want to remember, but I've never time traveled before. According to John Titor, the G forces are pretty strong. You feel like you're being stretched out.
Yeah, I wrote that.
The John Titor stuff?
Right, back when I leapt to 2000.
I see. The past has changed. Changed back, I suppose, from my point of view. When I was on the Alpha World line, I saw Titor post on @channel in real time. On this world line, those posts were made to an English bulletin board in the year 2000.
You don't sound surprised.
Nothing can surprise me now. My brain's too busy trying to process all this new information. It feels like it's going to blow.
I'll go over the mission one more time. Once we arrive, there will be no time for chit-chat. The objective is to prevent Makise Kurisu's death.
Ever since I returned to this world line, I've avoided all news of Kurisu's murder. I was afraid of setting that result in stone. So I still don't know who killed Kurisu. I don't know how or why she died. I don't know anything at all. If I had known it would come to this, would I have looked things up? I ask myself that question. The answer is no. What about attractor field convergence?
That day's a turning point, remember? Meaning the probability of Makise Kurisu's death is roughly 50%.
So convergence won't happen?
It may happen, it may not. No, it probably will, but I'm sure there's a loophole somewhere. That loophole is the doorway to Steins Gate.
So in the end, it's a gamble.
Oh, one more thing. Watch out for Dr. Nakabachi.
What do you mean?
Remember what I said about World War III? It all started because of something called the Nakabachi paper. Paper Dr. Nakabachi wrote detailing his theory of time travel.
That fraud's theory was just a ripoff of John Titor's. Wait a minute. John Titor is sitting right in front of me. So what Titor posted on the internet was true?
I mixed in some lies, so not many people listened to me at the time. I never thought someone would reevaluate it 10 years later. Looks like he built his theory off what I wrote. Apparently, it's almost perfect. Anyway, Dr. Nakabachi was there when Makise Kurisu was killed, right? So watch out for him. I'm sure he's important to the divergence of this world line.
Dr. Nakabachi? Important? I thought he was just some con artist.
Ready to go? Fasten your seatbelt.
I look underneath my butt to find what looks like a car seatbelt. I wrap it around my waist and fix my body to the seat. Does it shake a lot?
Shake? No, it doesn't shake.
You mean it does something else? Wait, is this safe?
Suzuha leans forward and pushes
A bright yellow button on the bottom of the panel. And there are no windows, so I can't tell if the time machine is moving.
It's only 3 weeks, so it shouldn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes.
Suzuha fastens her own seatbelt and sighs.
When I first leapt to 1975, it was 6 hours long with nothing to do.
I guess time travelers have their own problems.
Since it's only a few minutes, we won't bother with the oxygen masks. Just be aware, we'll have no oxygen for the duration.
You mean I have to hold my breath?
Right here.
Suzuha points to the center of the cylinder, the space between me and her.
There'll be an air pocket. Stick your head inside and you'll have enough oxygen for about 10 minutes.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, for argument's sake, what happens if we fail to save Kurisu?
There's not much fuel left. We barely had enough to begin with. There's not even enough for a return trip to 2036.
So, if we fail to change the world line, then I'll be stuck in this time.
But don't worry, as long as we're just traveling 3 weeks each way, we still have enough for 2 round trips.
So what she's saying is that we only have 2 chances. But then how do you plan to get back to 2036?
I don't. Once we reach Steins Gate, I won't have any reason to come to this time in the first place, will I?
True.
Causality will be reconstructed. I should disappear from this time, since I'll probably be living peacefully in 2036. But that all depends on you, Uncle Ogarin. No pressure.
Her tone is light, but her expression is serious. This is the first time in weeks that we've spoken, but I just now realized something about her. Suzuha is pretty reckless, isn't she? Suddenly there's a zapping sound and countless faint silver lights start floating around the cylinder. They look like moth dust or powdered snow. The lights slowly change colors. Violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Back to silver, violet, blue. The colors of the rainbow. I feel pressure on my entire body, similar to the sensation you feel as you ascend in an elevator. In an elevator, you feel as if you're being pulled downwards, but instead the time machine feels like it's pulling at my back. The feeling of pressure quickly increases. I start to feel like I'm falling horizontally. I've never experienced anything like this. It's so uncomfortable I want to scream. The strangest thing is that the time machine itself isn't shaking. In fact, it doesn't seem to be moving at all. There's no noise, no vibration. It's eerie. The pulling sensation grows even stronger. I can hear my bones creaking. I imagine my body flattened like a pancake. It's not a pleasant thought. It's getting worse. I look at Suzuha. She has her eyes shut and her jaw clenched tight.
Oof.
Damn, imagine experiencing that for 6 hours.
That's awful.
That's probably the sort of thing astronauts have to go through, isn't it? That's why they need so much
Yeah,
training just to
I
prepare their
could never.
bodies.
Uh-huh.
I can no longer move. It feels like my back is glued to the wall. My vision begins to warp, and with my warping vision, the powder of light still shifts through the colors of the rainbow. It's strangely beautiful, like something out of a painting, and I keep falling. Where's it taking me? Through a tunnel in space-time. One thing that Ray and Kia have done before that I'm so curious about is being in one of those, like, I think they're called anti-gravity pools.
Oh.
And that's just so hard for me to even conceptualize that. I just want to give it a try for myself, but I also worry that I might like panic in it.
Like, how does that even work, though?
To be honest, I'm not sure. It's called a zero gravity and sensory pool, something like that. And essentially, you're in a pool and they just like moderate temperature and the air in the room, and you're in like pitch darkness so that it feels like you're just floating in air. I think that's the intention.
Huh.
Let me
I
let
would
me
feel weird, I think.
let me Google this real quick to get it better. Sensory deprivation tank. Da. A sensory deprivation tank, also called an isolation tank or a flotation tank, is used for restricted environmental stimulation therapy rest. It is a dark, soundproof tank that is filled with a foot or less of salt water. Uh, let's see.
So
And
is
they
it
kind of
good for someone with like illnesses like to go and get treated like that then maybe?
let's see. Studies suggest time spent floating in a sensory deprivation tank may have some benefits in healthy people, such as muscle relaxation, better sleep, decrease in pain, and decreased stress and anxiety. The water in a sensory deprivation tank is heated to skin temperature, nearly saturated with Epsom salt, providing buoyancy so you float more easily. You enter the tank nude and are cut off from all outside stimulation, including sound, sight, and gravity when the tank's lid or door is closed. As you float weightless in the silence and darkness, the brain is supposed to enter into a deeply relaxed state. Sensory deprivation tank therapy is said to produce several effects on the brain, ranging from hallucinations to enhanced creativity. What the fuck? What?
Mm,
That doesn't
I
sound
don't
relaxing at
know.
all.
I don't know about the nude and the hallucinations.
Many people have reported having hallucinations in a sensory deprivation tank. Over the years, studies have shown that sensory deprivation does induce psychosis like experiences.
Ah,
You know
never
what?
mind.
Maybe I'll pass after all.
Yeah, no, thank you. Don't. I'm already quite fragile. I don't want to mess with that. I'm already pretty out there. Don't want to come out even more crazy.
All I know is that I'm falling. Suddenly, everything goes dark. I try to scream, but even my voice falls away. It doesn't even reach my own ears. It's gravity. There's an intense gravitational distortion behind me, and I'm still falling towards it. My vision slowly recovers.
Nice that they use the same sound effect as when they use the other machines.
Mm-hmm. The smell of ozone fills my nostrils. Suzuka takes a deep breath and unfastens her seatbelt.
We're here.
I gulp for air. Did I really just travel through time? If so, then it's July 28th. The day Kurisu and I met. The day I sent the first D-mail. The day it all began. Suzuha takes out a digital watch. It's a fairly old-fashioned design.
I bought it in 1975, but it's not even 3 years old yet.
This is where an uninformed person would say in Japanese, please. Suzuha sets the watch to the correct time, then hands it to me. The display reads 11:51. Nakabachi's presentation starts at 12.
Let's do this. You keep an eye on Makise Kurisu and stop whoever tries to kill her.
And you?
I'll back you up. Also, remember how I took away your phone? The U of July 28th is here too, meaning there are currently 2 Okabe Rintaros in this world. Whatever you do, don't let your past self see you. It would cause a major time paradox.
Uh-oh.
But Tider said that couldn't happen.
Well, that was a lie. Misinformation.
Come to think of it, Alpha Suzuha said the stuff she posted about the many worlds interpretation was fake too. Got it.
Then let's go. We'll rendezvous at the time machine when it's over.
Suzuha finishes her rushed explanation and motions me towards the hatch. I open the hatch and grab the rim. I squeeze my way out. Suzuha crawls out after me and closes the hatch.
You hide. I'll provide a distraction.
Suzuha runs up to the emergency door. And then, to my astonishment, she draws her gun and fires at the doorknob. The door opens easily. That must have broken the lock. Any minute now, a crowd of people will run up these stairs to see what happened. My past self will be among them. I need to hide before they get here. That was a close one. I nearly bumped into myself on the 8th floor landing. Right after I ran downstairs to the 7th floor, I heard footsteps running the other way behind me. Those footsteps were mine, no doubt. It was a near miss. To be safe, I descend to the 4th floor before stopping to take a breath. I take a look around, but there's nobody paying attention to me. I wonder what Suzuha is doing. I'm worried, but I need to focus on my own mission. I must prevent Kurisu's death. In about 30 minutes from now, just after Nakabachi's presentation ends, someone will murder her. I know where it happens. In the 8th floor hallway, towards the back of the building, where people rarely go. What I don't know is who stabbed her. Instead of running around and drawing attention to myself, I should just wait at the scene. Let's cool off here for about 5 minutes and then head over there. If I remember correctly, Kurisu tried to talk to me in the assembly hall, but I blew her off and came down here. After that, I tried calling my Yuri, but her phone was off and I couldn't get through, so I went back up to the assembly hall to find her. What time was that? I searched my memories, trying to plot the actions I took on July 28th. It sounded simple when Suzuha said it, but staying away from my past self is going to take more work than I thought. Frustration mounts. I shoved Suzuha's watch into my pocket to quash it. And just then,
Excuse me.
that voice. I turn around. Kurisu!
Do I know you?
No.
You came down from the roof just now, didn't you?
She looks at me with those beautiful eyes. Eyes shining with intelligence and strength of will. I thought I would never see her again. But now before my very eyes, is the girl I love. Tears well up in my eyes.
Aw.
I want to embrace her right this instant. It takes everything I have to resist the urge. Don't forget, this is our first meeting. This Kurisu doesn't know me.
I heard a strange sound from the roof. Is that why the building shook just now? What's going on? It's not Dr. Nakabachi's doing, is it?
Why did I have to run into Kurisu of all people? I can't answer. I'm afraid that if I speak, I'll be unable to contain my emotions. The memory of her last smile is burned into my mind, imploring me to act.
Are you listening? You're sweating like crazy.
Kurisu looks at me with suspicion. What would happen if I were to grab Kurisu and run? Would divergence change? Would her murder be averted? I recall the times Mayuri died. I recall the times I time-leaped to save her. Everything I tried ended in vain. I was unable to save her even once. No matter what I did, the world itself killed her. Won't it be the same with Kurisu? Should I even try? I reach towards Kurisu, my hand shaking.
Hey!
She steps back in surprise and fear, clutching a manila envelope to her chest. This is our first meeting, I know that. But to me, she's still the girl I love. If I had been thinking straight a second ago, I would have realized that my plan to grab her and flee wasn't going to work. Kurisu would never follow some strange man she only just met. Running isn't an option. All I can do is wait at the scene of the crime. Fighting against the urge to stay, I force myself to turn and leave.
Please answer my question.
But Kurisu pursues me. Why is she so desperate to know who I am? I do look suspicious, I'll admit that. But if she thinks I'm dangerous, why would she come alone? I turn around reluctantly and meet Kurisu's stare.
Answer me.
Can I really save you? The words catch in my throat. Can I save her? I don't know. All I know is that convergence is merciless and cruel, and that I am powerless to stop it.
Can you... what?
I shake my head, and then bolt for the stairs before Kurisu can react.
Wait! Stop!
When I make it back to the 8th floor, the presentation has already started. I peek in through the door of the assembly hall. Who the hell am I? Someone who knows you for a fraud, that's who.
Oh, now I remember the cringy confrontation he did.
Oh, 1 second. I'm getting a phone call.
Loki.
Okay. Someone in the audience is shouting at Dr. Nakabachi. And that someone is me. Oh, wow.
Oh, I forgot what he looked like.
Did we get a sprite of him before? I think we got a
Ugh.
CG, but I don't remember us getting a talk sprite.
I don't remember.
Now I remember. I confronted Dr. Nakabachi in the middle of his presentation. I called him a fraud for ripping off John Titer's posts. From this angle, I look like a real asshole.
I think it. Who was it? Was it me?
I would think so, since
Yeah, probably.
I'd be talking to myself. Either way, you should
Yeah.
take it.
Someone throw that man out.
Staff members approach. Damn, this is embarrassing. Cringy, even. But there's nothing I can do here. I need to leave before Kurisu appears. I turn around and head deeper into the dim passage. An image flashes through my mind. She was lying there, at the end of this passage, in a puddle of her own blood. "20 minutes from now, that's exactly what will happen. Can I prevent it? I must. Whatever it takes."
I need
There's
to
a
go back
pile-
and rewatch the first episode or two and see our reactions again, because I remember you laughing at my shock.
Yeah. There's a pile of junk. Tool boxes, cardboard, and the like, about halfway down the passage. The perfect hiding spot. I crouch behind them. Now all I have to do is wait for Kurisu to show. But what will I do when she does? Only now do I realize that I'm completely unarmed. I really didn't think this through. Kurisu is lying in a pile of blood. That means her killer has a weapon. Since I didn't hear a gunshot, it must have been a knife, or something similar. How am I going to defend her? And myself? Is there anything lying around here that might work as a weapon? I still have about 20 minutes. One wrong move and someone might catch me. I shouldn't leave this spot. Maybe I'm being overly cautious. This is my only chance to prevent Kurisu's death. I don't want to jeopardize that. I don't know what I'd do if I ran into Kurisu again. It's a miracle that I managed to tear myself away last time. The longer I wait in the darkness, the harder it becomes. The anticipation is killing me. So far, not a single soul has passed down this hallway. I can faintly hear Nakabachi's voice through the mic from far away, but that's it. The silence does nothing but increase my tension. To make matters worse, it's hot and humid. I guess the air conditioner's not on back here. My entire body's drenched in sweat, and I haven't even been hiding for a minute. Sweat drips from my brow to the floor. I rub it out with my shoe.
That's not a good idea.
I have to keep waiting.
Like, like in my mind, now the bottom of his shoe and the floor is wet with his sweat, and now his foot's gonna slip on it.
There's no other choice. I stay there, crouched in the darkness for what seems an eternity. In the distance, I hear the sound of sparse applause. I glance at Suzuha's watch. It's 12:26. I guess the presentation's over. I peek out from behind the boxes, and just then... I hear footsteps approaching. I quickly duck back behind cover. My heart is pounding. Someone's coming this way. Who? Is it Kurisu's murderer? I clench my teeth and try to drive away the tension. I can only pray that I won't be found. Finally, the footsteps pass right by my hiding spot. Moving only my eyes, I sneak a glance at the person. Kurisu. There's no one with her. I didn't expect Kurisu to be the first to appear. What is she doing back here? This area is for employees only. Now that I think about it, Kurisu's murder made no sense. Why was she killed in a place she would normally never come? Careful to keep quiet, I watch Kurisu from the shadows. About 5 meters down the hall, she stops walking and leans against the wall. She's holding that manila envelope I saw her with earlier. She peeks inside and smiles softly. Why is she smiling? Kurisu rarely smiles like that. I mean, it's more like her to glare at people. That envelope. I search my memories again. When Kurisu approached me during Nakabachi's presentation, I'm pretty sure she was holding that envelope. But did she have it when I discovered her body? I don't remember seeing it. What could be inside to make Kurisu smile like that? I can't begin to imagine. Kurisu hasn't moved a muscle. She's just standing there, head hung, her face hidden behind her long hair. I can't read her expression. Is she waiting for someone? Who? Who would she meet in a place like this? That's when I hear another set of footsteps approaching. I can't see who it is from where I'm hiding. But given the timing, it has to be the person who killed Kurisu. And as proof, Kurisu raises her head and upon recognizing the newcomer, lifts her back off of the wall. Her expression softens slightly. The footsteps come even closer. Who is it?
I wanted to talk.
Kurisu suddenly starts speaking. The footsteps pass right by my hiding spot. I'm so tense I can't move a muscle. The newcomer finally appears in my narrow field of vision. And it's...
Yep, not surprised.
Dr. Nakabachi? I slap a hand over my mouth to keep from shouting in astonishment. Kurisu and Dr. Nakabachi know each other.
Oh, one more thing. Watch out for Dr. Nakabachi.
Something else occurs to me. Why would Kurisu, an accomplished scientist, attend the presentation of a man like Nakabachi? He's just a two-bit inventor. Only 15 people came to hear him speak, and that's including trolls like me. There wasn't even any press coverage. Besides, Kurisu hates time travel science. Not much was obvious from her lecture at ATF. In that case, it's obvious why she's here. She didn't come to see his presentation. She came to see him. But why? What could be the connection? Wait,
I see it now.
it can't be.
Are you listening, Papa?
Papa? He's her father? Her estranged father who she told me she hadn't seen in 7 years? Kurisu did say her father was a physicist. And Nakabachi certainly is a physicist, though the scientific community at large has rejected his research. But wait, does this mean that Nakabachi killed his own daughter? Or was it someone else, someone who has yet to appear? There's no way to know. If I could be sure that Nakabachi was the killer, then I would intervene right now. But I'm not. I'd better keep watching and see what happens.
What is that? I heard you were giving a presentation on time travel. So I thought about it too. Could it be possible to make a time machine?
Kurisu wrote a paper on time travel. But when she spoke at ATF, she rejected the very idea of time travel. Although, come to think of it, she was awfully interested in the phone wave. Damn, I forgot how much of a tsundere she was.
I'd like your opinion, Papa. We can polish it together, then submit it to the scientific community. I don't know if they'll listen, but just in case, I do have acquaintances at Science Magazine. Don't tell me he freaking killed her to steal her paper. That would be so insane.
Nakabachi takes out the document and starts reading it with a disgusted frown. So that's what it was. She didn't have anything dangerous in that envelope, like drugs or a gun. It was just some document. That raises a new question. Could that be the Nakabachi paper? According to Suzuha, that document sparked a time travel arms race that ultimately led to World War III and the deaths of 5.7 billion people.
It started with a race between the EU and Russia. Then America got involved, and things really went to hell.
Oh boy.
Is that why Kurisu's safety is so important to changing divergence? I get it now. Nothing is coincidence. Everything is inevitable. Nakabachi flips restlessly through the document. He's not even trying to hide his irritation.
Did I ask you to write this? What a a-hole.
Yep.
Well, No, but you invited me to come, remember? It was the first time we talked in 7 years. That's what got me thinking. And as I worked on the thesis, I started to realize it might actually be possible to build a time machine. If the thesis is published, you could have your revenge on the scientific community for shunning you.
I wasn't shunned.
And with that, we will end this episode right here. Thank you all for coming, and as always, please do take care of yourselves and each other. Toodaloo!
Bye-bye! It's getting juicy.
Mm-hmm.